Now we're back at it again. Tory Lanez got sentenced to 10 years, and everyone in the industry is in the uproar about his sentence. But if you remember back in '99 when Shine was in the club with P Diddy, and they were celebrating the Bad Boy anniversary of his album release, I believe, and it was a New York City club. Just so happened Shine had he opened fire in the club, or he was able to have possession of the firearm. And when the case was over, Shine took all the charges. They gave that man 10 years, and then they deported him back to Belize. So this whole investigation that went on throughout the case of them finding evidence and people witnessing him opening fire on Megan Pete in July 2020, when he was telling her to dance bitch, as she was trying to, walk out the car, or she wasn't able to find another vehicle at that moment so she could be able to remove herself from that heated argument they was having in the car. I don't know if things got physical in the car, and if they did, it does not warrant a person to open fire on you, but you never know when you're dealing with a narcissist, when he's in violent rage and he's in anger of his role play of being a maniac. So when you're dealing with a psychopath and a maniac, and they're with alcohol, the chances of the violent rage happening in role play can be life and death situations. So she didn't know this particular guy during the pandemic. He had a lot of quarantine radio going on. He really was trying to keep his business going during the pandemic, just like everybody else was trying to do, and tried to do concerts online, and however it was going to keep the fun and the magnitude of his music going. Don't get me wrong, Tory Lanez, he's a talented man. His music is good. Even when I first heard him come out and he was remastering the song from Brownstone, Say It, I was really impressed by his music. I was shocked, you know what I mean? But like I said, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, you have to worry about them ready to strike you at any given time. Any given time, it could be a violent rage. That's when when you're dealing with alcohol and you're dealing with narcissistic people, you don't want to hang out with them, because people that are under influence with alcohol, they tend to get violent. And when they get violent, things go left. It could be a life and death situation. You're going to be in a physical altercation, and it's going to be very, very vicious of attacks. And sometimes people lose their life, and most of the time it does happen that way. At this point, these people want to disassociate themselves with Megan Pete because of the fact that they feel like she's the one that opened up her mouth, and she should have kept her mouth shut about him opening fire on her feet. And I believe she probably would have, if he wouldn't have been antagonizing her line so much. And she probably would have, probably could have kept her mouth shut to a certain extent, but he kept on antagonizing her and ridiculing her and assassinating her character. And that's what made her say, you know what, I'm going to talk to a lawyer, and I'm going to bring charges up on him for opening fire at my feet when I got out the vehicle of the SUV of July 2020. So everyone has they're at odds with her and her career and her music, and they feel like she should not have said anything. Tory Lanez should be a free man, but even if he wasn't from America, he is a Canadian. He's not supposed to be opening fire. He's not supposed to be even carrying a firearm. He's not allowed to do that. And even in between him opening fire and Megan Pete, he was having other violent rages with other associates of his that he was coming in contact with the guy from Love and Hip Hop Miami, Prince, and the guy August Alsina. He had got a physical altercation with him while having an open case with Megan Pete. Then from what I understand, he was having physical domestic violence with his child's mother. There was other issues going on with him that he could not control his anger. So at this point, when you open a fire and you have a possession of a firearm, you will be charged. Even if he had any inclination that he thought to himself that I could carry in America because I need protection. You're not supposed to be carrying in America at all. You're not licensed to carry. And on top of that, when you have DV cases and you have violent charges on you, you're not allowed to carry any firearms. That means that you will go in rage at any given time and go into a real violent type of physical altercation with anybody because you can't control your anger. So a lot of people are mad at him. I'm mad at her because she spoke about it, and they felt like she should have her mouth shut. But that goes to show you how they feel about black women should always keep their mouth shut, even if they go into physical altercation with any male. They need to keep quiet. And sweep it under the rug and act like it don't exist. And this is the reason why black women executions are so high in America. That's why it's a 94% chance that you can get executed by your partner in America, because of the fact that all this be quiet and don't say nothing. I don't want to call the police to him because, you know, he's going to get in trouble. He's going to go to jail. But he's trying to take your life. He's trying to end your life. And you okay with being quiet and being silent. And then you will turn around and be like, well, at least I ain't open up my mouth. At least I ain't say nothing. At least I ain't snitch. But hey, it's not helping you. Because what happens is a lot of these women like Megan Pete and other women wind up going to the morgue. And they wind up going to the morgue. Then after that, they go into the funeral. Then after that, they go into the cemetery. And then you hear nothing about them after that. Then when you find out about them, guess who gets executed by them? Their partner, the fiance, the boyfriend, the baby father, the husband. It always happens time and time again. So he's lucky to get 10 years for his charge. But the thing that people are pissed about is that after he gets the 10 years, he's definitely up for deportation. This is the reason why they're angry. Not the fact that he got the 10 years. They meant he might get deported after that. And when I look at it, he should be deported. He needs to go back to his country. He has learned his lesson. And the fact that he won't be going to jail for the rest of his life, that should be a plus for him. And, you know, he gets a second chance at life after doing 10 years. He can get to go home and do his music over there in Canada and see if they like you carrying firearms over there and opening fire on women over there and see what they will do to you in Canada. Simple as that.